Welcome to today's episode. What we're gonna go over today is 5 tips for capturing better sound for your videos. Tip number 1 is to use an external microphone. Typically with video, you wanna use something like a cardioid type pickup pattern or something like a shotgun microphone. Shotgun microphones are more ideal for picking up sound because they reject noise from around and they pick up what's directly in front of the microphone. That's why it's called a shotgun mic. This right here is a Samsung CO2. You can get 2 of these for around $100 USD. This is a great alternative. If you are on a budget, this is a great microphone. This is a condenser microphone that has a pickup pattern of a cardioid, so it's kind of in that sweet spot. It's very good for indoor dialogue, and all around, it's a great budget microphone. Typically in indoor situations, you want to use a shorter microphone. There are also cheaper alternatives like the Rode Video Micro. This is a great option. It does go into your camera. However, if you extend it and get it away, you're gonna have much better results. Tip number 2, you want to get the microphone nice and close. The main reason for this is going to be your signal to noise ratio. What that means, simply put, is if you have the microphone too far away, you have to bump up the preamps, raise the levels, and that's going to introduce what is known as gain or noise in your recordings. When you have the microphone nice and close, I ideally like to have it where if you stick your arm out, you can just touch the microphone. So if you stick out your arm, it is going to be at around your wrist level. Ideally, you want to get your mic off of your camera and you want to get it much closer. Something in the 1 to 1.5 foot distance is going to be ideal for most good recordings. Right now you're listening to the shotgun microphone Rode NTG3 up above, but you don't need to use something that expensive. Again, you can use something much cheaper like the Rode Video Micro, but you do want to get this microphone close to your subject. Otherwise, you're going to introduce a lot of noise in your recordings. When you're recording dialogue, especially in your camera, it's best to set your levels very low because you don't want to use the preamps in your cameras. They're not as effective as something like an external recorder. When you use an external recorder, it allows for more wiggle room when doing recordings. If you can get the microphone nice and close and use preamps, especially in a nice solid external recorder, you're going to be able to eliminate a lot of that unwanted noise. It's not going to have to work as hard. And if you have your microphone too far away, you're not going to get good quality recordings. Also, with an external recorder, you have many more options. On the top, you've got a stereo recorder, which is going to be more omnidirectional. So if you're getting noise of a crowd or something of a larger space, it works really well. If you're doing something for dialogue, you want to get either a 3.5 millimeter input on the side, or you could be using an XLR input, which is what we're using right now. It is also better for when you're doing longer lengths of cable. So if you have a longer lengths of cables with 3.5 millimeter headphone style, you're going to introduce a lot of noise. It's not going to be able to carry a clean signal. Again, if you're utilizing XLR cables, you're going to have a much cleaner feed, especially with those longer lengths. Tip number 4, when you're recording levels for sound, you want to be at around -10 dB or -12. The reason for this is because if you go any higher, you may clip your sound. If you clip your sound and if somebody's yelling, it's going to be very hard to recover and it's going to be completely distorted. If you can record sound that is around -10 to -12, if it's a little bit quieter than wanted, you're going to be much better off. If you record a decent quality sound, have the microphone nice and close, you can bump it up a little bit in post-production, and when you export, you will have your levels towards -6 and you're not going to be clipping your sound. And for tip number 5, you want to be in a quiet setting. So right now we're in a studio. We do have some acoustic treatment, meaning we just have nice foam panels on the walls. We have a lot of stuff in the room. When you're recording sound, it's much easier to get it in recording first. You don't want to have people talking in the background. You don't want to record with everything turned on. So make sure you turn off your phone, unplug your fridges or other electronic devices if possible, and you're going to end up with a much cleaner sound. Again, if you can, stay away from things such as wind If needed, you can get something like a Rycote Softy, which is going to eliminate that wind noise. Much better. So that's all we have for you. The main thing you want to do is to get an external microphone, preferably some sort of shotgun microphone with the pickup pattern that is going to be a little more directional. If you're more indoors, again, it's good to have a pickup pattern of something that is in that sweet spot, not too unidirectional, meaning not too focused, but you want to have something kind of in the sweet spot. And a Samsung CO2 is an incredible mic. But you are going to need phantom power if using it. Again, my favorite budget option microphone is going to be the Rode Video Micro, and this is about $50 USD. So that's all we have for you in today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see more, head over to redcapelearning.com. We've got tons of masterclasses. If you want to learn video, photo, and design, we've got you covered. We also have an entire section of free material. You can download storyboards, shot list, you name it. Again, we are going to see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button.